Hi everyone, my name is Phil and welcome to Phil Does 3D. I'm a multimedia and 3D artist and I stream live on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific time in the United States, which is 11 a.m. in Australia or 1 a.m. if you're in the UK. Now, remember you can watch the premiere catch-up streams on a Friday and Saturday until the November 12th when Twitch are doing away with premieres. So I'll continue to run the premieres up until then, so for the next couple of weeks, and then premieres are going away. But that's on a Friday and Saturday at 2 p.m. Pacific time in the United States. Smokeberry Barbecue, Sniper Girl, Android Lust, it's good to see you all. I hope you guys and girls are well. Hi to you as well. Twitch is getting rid of Premiere, Smokeberry. Yes, they are. And I'm a bit annoyed about it actually because why did Twitch go to the trouble of implementing a feature like that to run it for about 12 months or however long it's been running and then decide just to get rid of it? They didn't ask me. Not that I expect them to, but yeah, they're getting rid of it. There will be no more Premiere streams on Twitch. I got an email and I posted to my Twitter over the weekend a copy of the email that I got sent from Twitch saying they're doing away with premieres. I mean, they still have reruns, but I don't use reruns. Premieres were good for me because I could set them to a schedule and I didn't have to actually log into my Twitch account to start a rerun. Our premiere started automatically. So. Sniper Girl says, I'm doing well working on the art test. I saw in the Discord server that your interview went well with the studio and that they want you to do the art test. So that's great news, Sniper Girl. I will keep my fingers crossed for you. Edo, it's good to see you, Edo. And Android Lust says, wonder why they're getting rid of it. I have no idea. There are some guys and girls that watch my stream, watch the premiere streams because they can't watch me when I'm live. You know, maybe they're in another country where it's really early in the morning or maybe they're at work, you know, whatever time zone they're in. So there were a few people that watched the premiere streams so they could catch up. They can't do that now. But do remember, even when the premieres go away, if you're watching back this stream on a premiere at the end of the week, you'll be able to watch my streams at any time under the videos section on my Twitch page. Because even though Twitch only keep past broadcasts for 60 days, I edit out the countdown at the beginning and all that sort of jazz and upload that video of my broadcast, and I'll continue to do that. So my broadcast will always be under the video section on Twitch. They get uploaded to YouTube too, but YouTube is a couple of months behind on my broadcast compared to Twitch. So while you can catch up on YouTube, it'll take a couple of months to get caught up to where I am today. So if you want to watch the stream back, watch it under the videos section on Twitch. If you don't care and you don't mind watching it 2 months behind, then you can watch them all on YouTube as well. But I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm really a bit annoyed about Twitch doing that. All the time that they would have spent developing that feature just to axe it just seems ridiculous. Google are the same. They're just as bad. They're always dropping APIs and stuff that they've developed. I don't get it. These tech companies, they just have too much time in their hands to develop stuff that they have no intention of continuing with. Sniper Girl says, interview didn't just go well, it went amazing. Good to hear. Interviewed the lead and he showed people the dragon. Was like, this is the person I'm interviewing. Well, that is good news. And the dragon looked amazing, so I can see why the lead would show that all. That's great news, Sniper Girl. Make sure you do the art test really well, which I'm sure you will, because you've had lots of practice of doing them and just doing 3D modeling in general recently. So I will keep my fingers crossed for you. It'll be a great studio to work for. Sniper Girl says, talk about no pressure. But it's a good kind of pressure. They're praising you. They're not, that's a good sort of pressure. Smokeberry says, I'm guessing there wasn't a great reception. Yeah, I don't know. I would assume not either, because I know a lot of streamers, I know at least I really liked premieres. It was a good way for me to have my stream go live when I'm not live. So it's sort of like it was good exposure for the channel. I think the rumor going around is that they're doing away with premieres because of ad revenue being given to affiliates now. Basically, they don't want, they want to assure advertisers that are paying to run ads on Twitch that the people watching when the ad is playing is the greatest. And Twitch have looked obviously through their stats. And you always get more people watching a live stream than you get watching a premiere, because that's, people go to Twitch to watch people live. If you want to watch a video, you generally go to YouTube. So I think it's to do with the advertising revenue. I think Twitch are trying to reassure advertisers that if they spend money running their ads on Twitch, they're going to get the most amount of eyes on their ads that they're paying for. I think that's also the reason, I don't know if you guys heard, but Twitch have cracked down on lurk for lurk, which I never used. It's a pointless sort of system where streamers can watch other streamers and follow other streamers if they follow them back. Now, I know some streamers love it, but it inflates your numbers. It's pointless, really, because you're going to get follows from people that are never going to watch you again. You're going to get people are going to have your stream in the background because you've got their stream in the background playing. So that's an inflated view count that's pretty meaningless in the long run, because eventually those people will stop lurking. Will stop watching because of the lurk for lurk thing. So yeah, Twitch have cut down on the botting and on the lurk for lurk stuff. And I think that's also to do with advertising, so that numbers aren't being artificially inflated by viewers that aren't really there, again, for the advertising. And I think that's why they're doing it for the premieres. But I'm sure that a lot of streamers aren't happy about it. I know I'm not. Simply because, it was a way for me to promote the channel when I wasn't live. So. Always about money, Android Lust says. That's exactly right. It is always about the money. Always about the money. Now, I want to tell you guys, I'm not running ads on my channel. If you see an ad, like a pre-roll ad, when you come to my stream, when the stream first starts, or when you first load up my stream, that is not me. That is Twitch running pre-rolls. I have no control over those. I can run ads during the stream if I want to now. At the moment, I'm not going to be doing it. So if you don't want to see ads, you know how to get around those. I don't have to tell you guys and girls. And I won't be, at least in the foreseeable future, running ads during my stream. The one benefit of running an ad during the stream is that it does away with the pre-roll ads. So basically, any new person coming to my stream, they've got to sit through like a 30-second ad before they see me. That puts a lot of people off. People are impatient, and I don't blame them. I don't want to sit through an ad if I want to watch a streamer. So what happens is if I run an ad, then Twitch does away with that pre-roll. So if I run a 30-second ad, I think the first 20 minutes of the stream, there are no pre-roll ads. If I run like a minute ad, then there's an hour of the stream before there are no pre-roll ads. So there is a benefit that way. And there's a benefit because I get ad revenue, but the ad revenue is not great anyway. But to cut a long story short, I'm not planning on running ads. If you see an ad, it's Twitch's pre-roll stuff, not me. Because... And of course, if you're a sub to my channel, you won't see ads anyway, because subscribers don't see ads. Tamana, I didn't notice that you'd resubbed. Thank you, Tamana, for the resubscription. Man, you've been subbed for 28 months. Wow. Thank you, Tamana. I do appreciate it. So yes, just to clear all of that up, because I know people hate ads. I hate ads. I'm not going to be running ads on my stream for the foreseeable future. The only reason I would have considered it was because of this cutting off the pre-roll stuff at the beginning for new people coming to my channel, but at the moment I just don't want the hassle of having to run ads. I don't want the hassle of you guys having to watch ads and all that rubbish. So no ads on Phil Does 3D, at least for the foreseeable future. I'll let you guys know if I change my mind, but I'm not planning to. It was the same with the videos under my Twitch page. I mean, I could make those sub only, but I don't do that either. So everyone can watch my videos, and I don't plan on running ads. I mean, I appreciate the fact that Twitch have given us the option to do it, but no one likes ads. Alrighty, what are we doing? We are working on the bathroom for the House in the Hollow game that I'm creating with the game studio. We're working on the vanity units at the moment. So last week we worked on a smaller vanity, and today we're going to work on a larger corner vanity. It's in the same design. And what we can do is I can save out smart materials and substance painter that we created for the first Vanity. So texturing it up is going to be mega quick. The slowest part's probably going to be me having to UV map it, which is what we're going to do now. So let's jump into Max. So this is the corner Vanity. Exactly the same design as the other one, but it's got a corner. Go figure. So first things first, we have to texture it up. UVs, that's right, you gotta love the UVs. You guys know how much I love UV mapping. With Ryzen makes it much easier, so. But again, I want to point out, even though I use a lot of different software while I'm working on Twitch, you guys do not need to use any other third-party software. Any 3D program you use, you can UV map in. I'm just lazy. And I have access to the software, so I might as well use it. But it does speed up the workflow, and that's really important if you're working for a studio because they want stuff yesterday. But you don't need to use a third-party program. You can do all your UV mapping either in Max or in Maya or in Cinema 4D or in Blender or whatever program you use. They all have UV mapping. Okay, so first things first, we're going to attach all of the pieces together so I can send it over to Ryzen. Going to convert this to a poly, an edit poly, I should say, not to confuse people, from an edit mesh. And we're just going to start attaching all these bits together. It gives you a good opportunity for you guys to see how the model is made. It's made just in bits. At least that's how I do it. We won't be attaching the mirror because we're going to bring that into Unreal as a separate object so I can reuse it on other pieces. Not the mirror. No, I need to get the handles. Again, I'm not using Max as attach all. Okay, for a sec, no problem, Sniper Girl. Yeah, I'm not using Max as attach all because you guys know it can sometimes be a bit buggy. Takes me a little bit longer to do it by hand like this, but usually it's much safer in the long run. Okay, I'm just going to check to make sure I've got everything. It looks like I might have missed a couple of things. Okay, these little bits here. Always forget the little bits. It's a line from Zombieland. He says, always appreciate the little things. I'm actually looking forward to seeing Zombieland 2. And the tap. I think it's actually just been released in this country, in the cinema. Because I love Zombieland. Love that movie. Alright, now I think we have everything. Yep. So this is the mirror. And this is going to be called Corner Vanity. Okay. Let's just do a save all. I do a save as because when I attach something I save it out as a separate file, just in case I ever want to go back to an unattached version. Even though it's easy to unattach things, you just go into sub-object mode and detach, but I still like to save out a version that's specific to an attach. Alright, I'm just going to do a reset on the X-form. Collapse my stack. And make sure my pivot is in the middle of my object. Now we're good. Okay, let's export. Actually, no, let's send this over to Ryzen. I'm jumping ahead of myself. And let's start texturing it up. Just before I texture this up, I'm noticing a bit of a problem here. It could just be a lighting issue. Just looking at just through there, it looks like the mesh is a bit skewy. Yeah, actually the mesh is a bit skewy. I'm just going to jump back into Max. It was hard for me to see in Max's viewport here, but I'm noticing it in Ryzen, and now that I look, I can see it here in Max as well. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to detach that piece, because I don't want any more problems with, like when we import it into Substance Painter like we had last week. I don't want any issues with the baking. So Smokeberry says, I'm going to try doing a UV in Blender. Blender, I'm sure, has great UV mapping. Max's UV mapping is fine as well. It's just more time consuming. The advantage of Ryzen is it has those algorithms that work the UV mapping out for you. You don't really have to think about it too much. That's why I love Ryzen. Max, you've just got to think about things a bit more, but Max's UV mapping is just as good. Just slower, that's all. And I'm sure Blender's the same. Android Lost says, it's just in case save, though I never go back. Yeah, no, I'm the same. By the end of a project, depending on how big the project is, I can have like 20 different save files, versions. So what I generally do then is, once I'm at the end of the project and it's all done and dusted, like the Temple of the Winds we were working on, then I save out, then I delete the old versions and I just keep two. I keep the unattached version and the attached version of the final of those two. So yeah, I do it just for good housekeeping, otherwise my hard drive would fill up faster than faster than I could buy a new one. Sniper Girl says, Blender UV mapping sucks. Okay. My friend bought Maya Indie due to how bad Blender's UVing is. Oh, I didn't realise Blender's UV. Well, they're going to fix that. Come on, guys, you got to fix your Blender UV mapping. Everyone loves Blender. We're going to detach this, not as a clone. Just going to detach it completely. Yeah, I'm surprised to hear that. I always thought Blender would have had good UV mapping. I'm just going to isolate that piece. Now we can see just how messed up that piece of geometry is. We're going to remake it, and it won't take very long to remake at all. You're also back. I gathered that, Sniper Girl. Smokeberry says, I don't even see any tools for it. I'm going to have to YouTube this because there's nothing intuitive. Oh, don't you hate that? Sniper Girl says he found that Blender had way too many steps in the UV process. Intuitive, yes, I understood what you meant, Smokeberry. Android Lust says, I find Maya's UV process very simple. Yeah, a lot of people like Maya. I like Max as well. Max's UVing is great as well. I've mentioned to you guys before, you know Ryzen UV, the program that I use to do UV mapping. Well, Autodesk actually bought the rights to use one of those algorithms in Max's UV mapping. So Max's unwrapped and UV mapping is based on Ryzen UV. So it just doesn't have all the algorithms that's available in Ryzen UV. Smokeberry says, like I see a couple projection things and seam markings, but not for all the other things you need to do in the UV space. Sniper Girl says, I mean, in the time it took him to UV one small piece, entire 4-hour stream, he UV'd the entire interior of the ship he was working on in Maya. So it took him 4 hours to do one small piece in Blender, I'm assuming. and you can do an entire ship in Maya. Android and UV mapping is really important. It's one of the most important things in 3D, unfortunately. It's, you know, the basis of everything, of your textures. Android Lust says Maya has the same thing as well. It's a legacy UV mapping. It's great. Yeah, I've heard good things about Maya as well. You got to remember though, Maya and Max are very old 3D programs, old in that they've been around a long time. So Autodesk have had a lot of time to actually work on them and improve them. Blender's relatively, well, it's newer than Max and Maya, so I'm sure they'll get around to improving their UV mapping eventually. Smurfberry says Autodesk put that algorithm into Maya too, I believe. Well, it would not surprise me. They tend to mirror whatever they do in one program in the other eventually. Android Lust says to Smurfberry, correct. There you go. So we're just going to zoom in here, and I'm going to go into spline mode, and we're going to create a line. And I'm just going to quickly remake this piece of geometry. And I'm going to cough, hang on. Pardon me. I got that tickle in my throat.
To do something scared of the hour. I'm sorry to say this, but you aren't good for me.
Sniper Girl says it also lacks basic things like texel density tools, so it's really hard to ensure that texel density is constant per UV shell. Throw a checkerboard pattern down, it's always a good way to check your texel density. I'm not even sure if they have, like Max has a specific shader for checkerboard, but if not, just use a UV map, a texture map that's checkerboard. You can check your texture density that way, but it always helps to have tools built in. Android Lust says no texel density, out. Sniper Girl says he has to get a third-party plugin for that. I hate it when you got to buy third-party stuff just to get the functionality that should be there to begin with. But it's free. Blender's free. I guess you can't complain, really. You can, but you shouldn't. Sniper Girl says it was funny as hell to see him trying to UV in Blender. We'll leave it at that. Android Lust says, well, Blender does have good plugins. Sniper Girl says was like watching a 4-hour train wreck. Come on, give these people a break, these streamers a break. It's hard work to actually do stuff as well as stream and make sure everything's working correctly. Edo says the Sniper Girl says hi to Edo. Okay, so I'm just going to throw a modifier, an extrude modifier on this. And I'm going to jump into my top viewport. A bit too much. It should be good. Let's just move this over where the old one is. Let me just rename this old. Okay, now let's move this one over the old one. I'll just make it a tiny bit bigger. Wow. Let's try 0.7. No, Max did not like that. Why did Max not like that? too much. Let's try 0.6. And 0.6 should work for what we want. Let's delete the old one. And let's just make sure that the material is the same. Good. Let's reattach it now to the rest of it. And now we should be good to go. Do a save. Edo is good. Actually, I saw Edo, you posted on the Discord server. And for anyone that doesn't know, join the Phil Does 3D Discord server. Click the link in below my stream and the graphic below my stream to get an invite link. I see you were saying that your master said to you that maybe you were doing too many women and it might not be good for your portfolio if you're being interviewed by a woman. That's very wise words right there. And, you know, I've mentioned to you guys before about doing women whose proportions are not real. Because do remember, there are women in games and film and archviz, women in every industry that men work in, and some of them might take offence at seeing hugely busty women with big bottoms constantly in your portfolio. It's just not just that, it's good to have variety. It's good to have variety in your work. But it's good to see you, Edo. Sniper Girl says, no, you misunderstand me. My friend has like 10 years of experience in the games industry, game dev industry. His fast seeing UVs in Blender was funny due to how much he had to struggle for it to do anything. Might be funny for you, I'm sure it wasn't funny for him. I hate it when I have bad days. It's even worse when you're streaming those bad days. Sniper Girl says, doing well, working on the art test currently to Edo. Sniper Girl says, you mean females in video games aren't like unicorns and exactly exists? There's hope for me, of course there are. They do exist. I've worked in quite a few game studios where there have been quite a few girls. I mean, generally there are more boys, but there have been a good number of girls as well, as there should be. And thank you, Nightbot. There's the Phil Does 3D Discord server. Wow, that freaks me out when that bot does that, you know? When I mention Discord and then it puts the link up. Always freaks me out. Is it listening to me? I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. I'm not paranoid. Everybody's out to get me. Okay, let's send this over to, actually just... No, it should be fine. Let's send... I was going to do a reset on the X-Spawn, but it should be right. Let's send it back to Ryzen. And now we're good. We don't have that weirdness going on with our polys. So let's start UV mapping. We'll go into sub-object mode when I select the right thing. Isolate the selection. Wait a minute here, I'm just trying to work out what the program has done. It's moved my... Why's it done that? Oh, it's because I got this turned on. There we go. I'm thinking, where have my options gone? What's going on? I didn't update the program. What's going on? Sniper Girl says, I'm not out to get you. Oh, good. That's good to hear. I don't believe you though. Smurfberry says, it's possible to be paranoid and everyone's out. That's right. Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean not everyone's not out to get you. Sniper Girl says, hides the knives and axes behind my back. And Android Lust says, Nightbot made by Google. That's right. We all know that Google listens to everything we do. They're listening. They're all listening. Let's try this one here. Always listening and always watching. It should work for what we want. Let's move on to this piece here, because why not? And again, this one I think is probably going to be the best one. Looks pretty good to me. Okay, let's move on to this corner piece here. Okay, the shelves are part of this. I hate it when they... We'll see how it does. It might get confused here. We may have to break this up more, but we'll see. Let's see how it works. Did I pack those other pieces? I can't remember. It doesn't matter. Okay, the only thing I don't really like here is, I mean, it's not bad, but it has given us a split here in the front. But I think that'll be okay because we're using a wood grain texture, so if we were using a pattern texture it might be an issue, but I think with the wood grain it should be alright. Because aside from that, it's mapped up okay. Okay, let's do the side piece. I must watch that Joker movie too that you were talking about, Sniper Girl. I have heard good things about that. A lot of people really like that movie. So I want to check it out. Okay, let's look at the shelves, I guess. They're going to be the most painful to do. In fact, I'm going to do these as separate pieces. Again, it's given us that split at the front, but I think we should be alright. I might try this one for this piece of geometry. We'll see what that gives us. No. Let's try this one. No. Nope. Back to where we were. Probably the best we're going to get for this. We'll try a couple more to see if there is a better one, but I think we may have to come back to this one here. Nope. Yeah, we're going to have to come back to our original. I generally probably wouldn't unwrap it like this. What I'd probably end up, it's chosen to do it this way because we have these grooves. That'll be okay. It'll work for what we want. But if I was doing it and unwrap by hand, I probably wouldn't unwrap it quite like that. Let's do the countertop. And let's try this one we've been using. Yeah, that'll work. Sniper Girl says, I tend to force UV shells like that straight. Yeah, I was going to say I generally probably would as well. I tend to force it straight, that way it's easier to texture. I agree with you. A curved UV space like that is a major pain to try and texture up. but we are using Substance Painter, so it's not like we're doing the texturing by hand. But I agree, and again, that's why I mentioned when I looked at it that I probably wouldn't UV map it that way. But I think it should be okay for what we want. I don't think it'll be an issue. But you are right. Android Dust says, I generally do that as well, just to have it, yeah. And it's a better way to, it's an easier way to work if instead of a curve, you've got a straight line. Much easier to texture out. Particularly if you want to get in there and you want to do some painting by hand, maybe in Photoshop. UV mapping it like that would be a pain. Texturing it like that would be a pain. Okay, now I just stitched that back because I don't want a line here on this curved piece of geometry. Yeah. So I just stitched it together. We can still use its original unwrap, but we just stitched that line, stitched that seam. Just will work better for what we want. So have they told you what they want you to model yet, Sniper Girl, for your art test? It's cool if you don't want to say what it is. I'm just curious if they've actually given you what they told you what they want you to model yet. Well, let's do this piece at the back before I forget about it. Sniper Girl says, nope, I'm working on the model for the art test and I have been for 2 days but have no idea what it is. You got the email on Friday, cool. You make me laugh. Ido, what have you posted here? I see Ido's posted something in Discord. Loading artists, I hope my render times are not too high. The render time. Very, very funny. Sniper Girl says, start of the stream I said, doing good, working on the art. Oh, geez, you're talking to a Phil brain, an old Noah's Phil brain. You know what? You know it takes me a while, Sniper Girl. I've got an old brain and old ears. You know what it's like when you talk to a geriatric. Alright. Let's do the sink, I think. And this one, I think we'll try this one here. Pardon me. Sorry about that, guys. That tickle. Sniper Girl says, yeah, does that mean one of us got to change your diaper? Because if so, not it. Just getting back to what Ito posted, the image here in Discord. Is it Snoop Dogg? I can never remember the guy's name. Looks like he's smoking a joint. It's very funny. We're talking about render times, loading artists and render times. That's something I've been working on for the last 3 or 4 days in the game engine for the game. Is getting the frame rate up, and that's a lot of that is to do with the lighting in the engine, and it's to do with the environment lighting, because you know you got lots of trees and lots of grass and everything is dynamically moving. So yeah, playing with the lighting in the engine to get the frame times up has been fun. Not that there's anything. All game engines are like that. I'm not knocking Unreal. I'm just saying it's one of the joys of working on games again. Let's isolate that. And for this one, let's see if this one will work for us. Again, we have the seam here, which is okay. I mean, I could probably stitch it if I wanted to. And why not? It was easy and quick to do.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, I might go back and might do these as well. Just because, why not? We are getting a little stretching happening now after me stitching it. That slight red tint, but not enough that it'll be noticeable. Well, just let me see what's going on here. This one doesn't want to stitch correctly. I'll leave that one. Okay, let's move on to... Let's do this cabinet at the back. Actually, let's do these back pieces. No one has to change my diaper though. Let me point out, I can change my diaper on my own. I'm a big boy, a big boy. To quote South Park. Those guys, you know, sometimes when you watch South Park, some of the things that they do in that show, I mean, it's very funny, but man, they can be crude. So crude. Sniper Girl says, that's good because I was going to volunteer. Android last. No, I can do it on my own. I don't need anyone to change my diaper for me. Like I said, I'm a big boy. So you're all off the hook. Okay, now I'm just going to try and look in here if I can. Okay. Just going to zoom back out. go into wireframe mode because I do have shelves in here, but I'm just having a bit of a trouble finding. Okay, now we can go back. Now we can go back to isolate. Edo says hair cards so hard, and again I saw you also posted something about hair cards in the Discord. Thankfully I don't do character work, so I don't have to worry about hair, but yeah. I've seen enough character artists working on hair at different studios. I know what a pain it is. I'm just looking at the logo of the game studio Sniper Girl that you are doing the art test for. It is creepy. Edo says it's spooky. I agree, it is spooky. It's a spooky looking logo. Spooky. Android Lost says, speaking of hair cards, Duito, did you paint the textures for the hair cards yourself? No. There you go. Can't get a more succinct answer than that? No. Okay, let's work on this bit, because why not? Okay, now this is another one where I'm going to stitch the seam here. And again, this is another area where, as Sniper Girl pointed out, you'd be better off straightening these up as opposed to having them on a curve. But because we're using Substance Painter and it's procedural, it should be able to handle that okay. And let's do this piece in here. A habit of sort of leaning to the side. It's never good. Sit straight. Oh, occupational health and safety will be on to me. Sit properly. Sniper Girl says, yeah, the logo they have is creepy as hell, agreed. I know what you mean, Edo. Do you want a high tier straight? I think he's talking about higher resolution. Sniper Girl says, kind of hope I get the job and get to work on Saints Row 5. That'll be cool. Can say that is what they're working on. Due to they officially announced that's what they're working on. Yeah, working on Saints Row 5 would be super cool. It's a real respectable series to be working on, or IP to be working on. It'd be good, great people to follow. For your resume, I mean, too. Edo says, just downloaded the Epic Paragon character and export their hair textures. Oh, there you go. Yeah, remember that Epic did release those Paragon assets for free for you to use in the Unreal Engine. I don't think they want you to download and use them in Unity, but you can certainly use them in the Unreal Engine. I hate to think how many man hours went into making all those assets. So it is good of Epic to release them for free. It's the interior. So again, I'm going to stitch this seam up. Not going to worry about the one on the back because that's hidden inside of the cabinet. Okay, let's do the doors. Same thing, let's stitch the seam. It looks like there are two seams here. I don't know why that is. Looks like there are 3 seams here. I've got no idea why that is. But we stitched them up anyway. And Ito says, download Paragon, boom, hair textures easy. Then just lay them out. Actually, that's a really interesting way to work as well, Ito. Okay, why did you do that? Actually using the assets to use them for something else different from what they were actually originally created for. That's really interesting. We'll leave the seam on the back because again we're not going to see it. Good way to work. Very smart way to work. Smart. Smurpery says correct. The license is only for use within UE4. So there you go. Do not download the Paragon assets and use them in Unity because you can't. They're only licensed for UE4, which is fair enough because they made them and they're giving them to you for free. So you shouldn't be using them in a competitor's game engine. Android Lost says, I've never checked out, I haven't either checked those assets out. I generally, because I'm a 3D artist anyway, if I want an asset, I'll make it. I don't tend to, so the interest to me in downloading their assets is not great. But they're characters, and I don't do character art, so, you know, maybe. And they are very nice assets too, I have seen them, they're beautiful assets. Whoever the guys or girls were that worked on them did a really nice job. Ito says you must optimize. I'm not about to go into ZBrush, layout, hair, etc., etc. Sniper Girl says, I've downloaded some of the environment ones, tore them apart to see how they did things. Yeah, because they did. They released the environment assets as well. I'm just trying to work out how I want to do this. For this piece, let's try this one. Actually, no, this is not going to work, I can already tell. I don't think. It's not terrible. I just don't like the way it did this seam here. Let's see if we can't get a better unwrap. No, and again, I don't like that stretching, it's terrible. Ito says, anyone getting the new Call of Duty? Yeah, is anyone getting the new Call of Duty? I don't tend to play the Call of Duty game. Not that there's anything wrong with them. They're just not my type of game, really. That'll probably work for what we want. Let's work on this piece now. And for this one, we'll go back to this one. Let's work on the doors now. Sniper Girl says, no, don't trust the publisher. Mercury says, dodgy. Sniper Girl says, there were talks about it having loot... Oh no, not loot boxes, seriously? Talks about it having loot boxes to get guns and such. Leaker released it. Now the publisher said no guns and loot boxes at launch. Didn't say during the lifetime of the game. Yeah, we all know how that works, don't we? Yes, no, there'll be no guns and loot boxes at launch. Yeah, you shouldn't support games that do loot boxes because that's just bullshit. That's bullshit. Loot boxes are bullshit in any game. Just a way for them to get more money out of gamers. And it sucks. Sucks, I say. Actually, it was interesting. You know how I don't play Fortnite either, which is Epic's game that they released, multiplayer game. It was funny though because they released a new map. So what they did, they imploded the world at the end of before they released the new map, and it took a couple of days for them to release the new map. And you had all these Twitch people that play Fortnite bitching because they couldn't play the game because, yeah, the world had imploded. There was no game to play until Epic released the new map. So I thought that was funny. All these Twitch guys don't know what to do with themselves because they can't play Fortnite. Play another game. That's what you do, guys. You don't wait around for Epic to release the new map. You play something else in the meantime. Android Lust says, last Call of Duty I owned was on Xbox 360. Not a huge fan, and neither am I. Android Lust says, I read that. See? Old brain. Sniper Girl says, also there's an entire game mode locked for 1 year unless you have a PS4, which is generally the lifetime of the Call of Duty game. I don't agree with that either. I hate exclusives, like, yeah, console exclusives. That sucks as well. They shouldn't do stuff like that. It's as bad as Rockstar. You know, Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming to the PC. How long ago was that game released? I mean, don't do that, Rockstar. They obviously do it because Sony and Microsoft, you know, give them wheelbarrow loads full of cash to make it an exclusive for a certain period of time on the console. Let's try and sell more consoles, I guess. But I think it sucks. Us PC guys have had to wait until now, or until release, which is, I don't know, in the next 6 months or something, I'm not sure, for Red Dead Redemption 2. And it does look sweet on the PC, I have to say. It looks sweet. The graphics look really, really cool. I mean, Rockstar always do a really nice job with their graphics. But I'm just pissed off that they make it an exclusive to consoles and us PC gamers, you know, have to wait. That sucks. They did the same thing with the Grand Theft Auto series. They do the same thing there. Andrew Luss says an exclusive game mode just for PlayStation players? That's crazy. And Sniper Girl says, yeah, players are pissed. Well, so they should be. We should all be pissed. If you like Call of Duty. We should be pissed anyway. Exclusives are bad. Bad things. Exclusives. Loot boxes. Pre-ordering games. Don't do those things, guys. Don't do them. They're all bad. Android Lost says, that's the dumbest thing someone can do. Agreed, says Sniper Girl. So yeah, not getting the next Call of Duty game. Android Lust says Red Dead 2 comes to PC next month, I believe. Ah, cool. I don't know if I want to support them though after making me wait this long. Maybe I'll just wait till it goes on sale. Actually, I don't know if it ever goes on sale because it's distributed by from Rockstar's own website. But the graphics do look sweet, I have to say. They've done a nice job with the optimizing, well, for making the PC graphics look really, really, really crisp. Sniper Girl says, last COD I played was MW2, and I'm pissed for them. Android Lust says, I always enjoyed Battlefield over Call of Duty when I did play shooters a lot. Yeah, you guys know I don't tend to play shooters very much. I like to play games where you think a bit more. So Yeah. Not shoot. I like puzzles and stuff and story. I like a good story. I don't like I don't play multiplayer games, so that's basically what a lot of COD is about. Android Lust says, I've always enjoyed, I've read that. Sniper Girl says, by MW2, I mean Modern Warfare 2. Thank you, Sniper Girl. Because I didn't know what MW2 was. Android Lust says, when you think more. Yes, I like to think more. Or, you know, try to anyway. I know it's a chore for Phil to think. We all can see just how old his brain is, but it's more enjoyable for me to think than shoot. That's what I'm trying to say. Wrong one. Let me stay there. Let me go to isolate and let me go back. That'll work. That'll be okay. We're just throwing a brass texture on these handles, so that'll be fine. It's all good. And this one, let's try this one. No, that one is very bad, very, very bad. Let's try this one. Again, we're going to be throwing a chrome texture on this, so that'll be fine. Same with this, that'll be fine. Android Lost says, Call of Duty seemed more like an arcade shooter for me. Speaking of gun games, I'm currently making a 3D gun just for you. Oh, cool. Because you know how much I love looking at guns in cars. My two favourite things to see modelled. Because there just aren't enough guns in cars in people's portfolios. You've got to pack those portfolios full of guns in cars. I look forward to seeing anything you make, Android Lust, or anything any of you guys and girls make. If it's a gun or a car, that's cool. Sniper Girl says, but you have a geriatric brain. Should we get you a simple puzzle with 5 pieces for you to put together? Well, you know, I even have problems with, you know, those boxes with the holes cut out with the shapes? I can't even get those in the holes correctly, So yeah, it might be a good idea, Sniper Girl. My geriatric brain. You guys, you're so cruel to me, you know that? You're really cruel. Cruel, cruel, cruel. So cruel. Poor Phil. That should be okay. Again, this is brass, so... Yes, I do know you love me. That's okay. It's okay. I can take it. I can take it. It's all good. Sniper Girl says, doesn't mean I won't bust your balls every now and then. No, that's okay. I know you guys are only kidding. She's the worst, by the way. She is the worst to me. She is so cruel. Why do I stream again? Remind me why I stream when I take all this abuse. That I am, she says, and you modded me. What were you thinking? Legmog, it's good to see you, buddy. How are you? Says, well, what have I walked into? I hope some fill slaps have been used here. No, I actually haven't handed out any fill slaps this morning, Legmog. I'm a bit behind, a bit slow on the slapping. They all need a slap. No, only Sniper Girl needs the slap, I think. But no, I haven't had it. How are you, buddy? Anyway, by the way, how's everything? You been on that date yet? Yes, no, but Sniper Girl says I have not handed out any slaps yet. Now, I'm not going to get the Rise. I'm here to do a repack. I'm going to do that in Max. Oh, I haven't finished texturing up yet. I'm jumping ahead of myself. UV mapping, not texturing, UV mapping. Call it what it is, Philip. You'll just confuse people.
What you're going to hear about today is nothing short of a miracle.
Android Sniper Girl says it sounds pretty cool. Legmonk says I'm good. Only 2 shots left to animate, and then all the main animation for my opening sequence will be done. Way to go! Oh, cool. And how's it all coming together, dude? And I'm glad you're still doing work on it. I hate seeing people abandon projects. Because, you know, it's the same thing when I was going to university. You know, you start the year and the class is full of people. Let's say you've got 60 students. By the end of the year, you're down to about like 20 students. And I think to myself, but they don't drop out till like after they've been going for 10 months. And I used to always think to myself, what have you just wasted the last 10 months of your life in a class that you've just, packed in? Why did it take you 10 months to work out you didn't like what the class was about? Such a waste of time. I always used to find that really odd.
Stop hitting me.
I understand sometimes people study stuff and they don't really know what it is, and it's not until you start learning it that you can work out whether you like it or not. But man, 10 months? Why did it take you 10 months to work it out? Let's try this one. No, this one is not going to work. Let's try this one. This one is not going to work. Let's try this one. This one is not going to work. And Legmark says, I'm really psyched. I will need to then go back and do some tertiary animation stuff afterwards, which will take a few weeks, but good lord, the warm golden beams of light at the end of the tunnel are all around me. Yeah, it's
For everyone.
it's always nice after you've been on tackling a big project to come toward the end of it. I mean, I get where you're coming from.
Everybody from the front to the back now.
I'm never completely satisfied with anything I do, though. I never sort of call it finished. There are times you have to, but if it was up to me, I could work on something forever. So consider yourselves lucky you haven't been watching me work on... What was the first thing we worked on when I started streaming? The Baroque Terrace. Think yourself lucky I'm not still working on that, because I could be. I could easily continue working on the same project forever. But that's no fun for you guys. But it is good to come when a project is coming to an end. You enjoy it because you're making it. You're creating it. You chose it. It's different though if you've been forced to work on something you don't really like. I don't mind when those projects come to an end. Sniper Girl says, "Are you sure the light isn't really a train coming right at you?" Andrew Lust says, "My sister dropped out of college with 1 year left for her nursing degree." Oh man, I don't.
That's the way computers talk.
I know life takes over sometimes, life things happen and you got to drop out of college because of those sort of things. So I get that, but I just don't understand why people do something for a couple of years and then drop out. Say you're doing a 3-year degree and after 2 years you decide to drop out. What were you doing for those 2 years? You've wasted 2 years. Wasted. No, not that one. But yeah, I get those. Sometimes life things just get in the way. So, there are reasons, different reasons people need to drop out. I mean, you guys chefing, you guys know I'm a qualified chef. I did 4 years as an apprentice to get my qualification as a chef. I did that way, way back when I was young, unlike now. And I realised after 2 years I hated it. I hated being a chef. I hated it. But I devoted 2 years of my life to doing it. So I thought to myself, I'm not going to waste 2 years. I'm going to waste the next 2 years and finish my my trade qualification. So, which is what I did. So I went through 2 more years of, man, I hate this, to get my qualification. So, and that's just so if I ever wanted to go back and be a chef, I'm a qualified chef, I could go back and do it. I could open my own restaurant, whatever, So I just wanted that option. And yeah, I'd already spent 2 years and I thought to myself, I'm not going to waste those 2 years. Legmog says, the only thing is once I pass through the light at the end of the animation tunnel, on the other side is a whole new tunnel with only the faintest glimmer at the end, and I call this setting up the environment's lighting and rendering tunnel. There's always something. It's never ending. Android Lost says, too stressful from what I heard. Well, that's the other thing too. Stressful. You don't want to do something that stresses you out, which is why I'm not a chef anymore. It wasn't so much when I was a chef that it was stressful. It was more that I hated working in a hot kitchen on a hot day. I hated the constant smell of food. I hated the hours because I used to have to work until like 2 in the morning, and sometimes if we did lunches and dinners, I'd have to get there at 10 in the morning with breaks in between. I hated all that. I like cooking. I just hated all that. Legmark says, to Android Last, my friend has serious doubts about completing his teaching degree, but he kind of forced himself to finish and get a job as a teacher and just ground himself into the ground. Panic attacks a lot sometimes. If you have a gut feeling that something's wrong, better go with it and drop out than force the issue. Well, that's very true. There was a girlfriend that I know, not my girlfriend, just a girl that I know, and who's a friend. She went to join the ambulance service in this country, And it wasn't until after a couple of years of doing that that she started to get really bad panic attacks. Like if she was in a dark room, she'd get a panic attack. And it was because of all of the stress of her job, of being an ambulance person and dealing with all of that sort of work. So yeah, the stress thing is not good. Crosswind, it's good to see you, Crosswind. How are you? What's up with you? Sniper Girl says, I honestly wish I could finish college. School screwed up paperwork with the Veteran Affairs. Wasn't able to graduate as a result. I don't get why people wouldn't finish. Oh, that's a shame, Sniper Girl. That's a real bummer. I'd be furious if they screwed up your paperwork, my paperwork. Sniper Girl said, had 4 classes left with a 3.2 grade point average. Oh, wow. That sucks, Sniper Girl. Crosswind says, doing all right. Getting my chainsaw model done. Good to hear. Android Lust says, I probably was the only one who wasn't mad disappointed at her. She clearly didn't like it, and working as a nurse would probably be miserable for her. Well, no, I agree. You should never force yourself to do something you don't want to do. If you can avoid it. I mean, there are certain situations in life where we just got to. Because, you know, that's just the way things are. But if you can avoid doing something you don't enjoy, you should. We are getting a little bit of stretching happening here around the sinkhole, but again, we're using a porcelain substance there, so it's not going to be noticeable. Sniper Girl says to Crosswind, how's it going? Crosswind says, coming along nicely. I like it better than the bolter I did. I'll post pics on the Discord. Make sure you do. Because you guys know I love to see the work that you're doing. And oh, it looks very nice actually. I'll show it off at the end of the stream, Crosswind. So in about half an hour I'll show it off. I see Ito's posted an image of the hair he's working on as well for his character. And actually, Smurfberry posted the result of that building, that photogrammetry building he was working on. I want to talk about that too because he was talking about the problems with the roof. So we'll talk about that at the end of the stream. Legmugs says, Veteran Affairs, were you in the military? I think she was, yeah. Yeah, I think she was. Sniper Girl says, was mad at school for a while. If I get this job, we'll be taking classes online to finish. Good. Yeah. I'd be mad at the school too, Sniper Girl. Yes, Crosswind says, just posted them. Yes, and I will show them off on the stream at the end of the stream, but if you guys want to see them now, jump on the Discord server. Have a look at it there. But I will show them on stream soon. Not so muchy, not so muchy. I'm not sure what you're doing there. You can't post links in my Twitch chat. You might be a bot or a spammer, I'm not sure. Not so muchy, or not muchy. I won't ban you at the moment, but be very careful. And and don't post links in Twitch chat because you will get banned. Only my subs can post links in my Twitch chat. Sniper Girl says, yeah, 5 years in the Navy. Sniper Girl says, was a gas turbine tech, maintained jet engine fuel systems, hydraulics, pretty much everything in the engine room I was assigned to. Yeah. It's the same with Galen. Galen was in the military as well. I hope he's okay, actually. I haven't heard from him in a while. I hope he's doing well. Okay, let's isolate those. And let's texture those up. Sniper Girl says, was a gas turbine tech, maintained generator. Did I read that? Maybe not. Yeah, no I did. Old brain. Mercury says the Sniper Girl is on my zombie survival team. Sniper Girl says, sounds good. Legmog says, okay, so my main question, did you ever get a chance to say she cannot take it, Captain? If we push her any longer, she'll blow. Who are you talking to? Oh, she's talking to Sniper Girl, I think. Sniper Girl says, zombies happen. Let's steal a naval ship. We'll be able to maintain it. And she says, no, I didn't get a chance to say that. Okay, I think I have UV mapped all of the different pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it back to Max to repack. I'm not going to do the repack here in Ryzen. So we'll get all our textile densities correct. Just making sure I have mapped everything. Yep. Yep, that's good. The inside here we're not mapping because it's not going to be seen. I got the shelves in there, so that's good. Okay, let's send it back. Alrighty. Now, let's do an unwrap. I'm going to open my editor. I'm going to select all of our pieces and get Max to do a repack. Cool. Let's do a save. And now we can export it so we can bring it into Substance Painter. Legmark says 5 years in the Navy and it never came up. God, what hard luck. Okay, let's export this piece. Let's export it to... You can see what I've been working on here with on the game level. Let me just go there by hand. It'll be quicker. This is the for the bathroom for the game, so it's going to be in here. It's going to be... Okay, we've got an exports folder here, so I'm just going to make another subfolder. Call it Corner Vanity. Actually, we didn't export our textures either, so we'll have to do that as well for the one we worked on last week. We're just going to export this as Corner Vanity. Let's jump into Substance Painter. Let's load up the Vanity we worked on last week. Now, I did make one small change between when I finished the stream last week, and that's with the countertop here. What I did was I went into, what's it called? Alchemist, Substance Alchemist, and I made a texture here for the marble. So basically I made a dirty marble with water. So it's hard to see here, but there is like a water stain on top of the countertop. You can sort of see it here and there. So I wanted the counter to look like it was wet and a bit more dirty. The marble we used was a bit too clean. You can sort of see the water up here. So that's what a change I made in Alchemist, and I saved the substance out and reapplied it to the model. Because we got to show off that sweet ray tracing. And reflections will help with that. Sniper Girl says to Legmog, if I ever join again, I'll be sure to do that. Would you join again, Sniper Girl? Did you enjoy working in the Navy? I'm always curious, people that have done military service and then have left, if they would consider going back and doing it again? Did you, or if they liked it even, if they enjoyed doing it? Okay, so let's export our texture here for our small vanity. We only have the one texture here. We'll save it as a 2K texture. Let's put it in the right folder. Models. Bathroom. Vanity. No. Vanity unit. Exports. We're going to use this folder and export. Let's just open the folder and check, and there are textures, one texture as opposed to half a dozen we had when we did the cinematic. Let's start saving out smart materials now so we can reuse them on the model we just UV mapped. So, I'm just going to make sure these are named correctly. Okay, that's the back of the vanity unit there. I don't know if I need that. Okay, sink. I'm just going to rename this my sink because I always like to put my in front of everything. It helps me find it much more easily. So my underscore sink. Actually, I might rename it Vanity as well. It might be my Vanity sink. And this one will be my Vanity Chrome. And my Vanity Brasswork. My Vanity Marble Top. I bet you know what I'm going to say. My Vanity Cherry Wood, and finally Chocolate Wood. Sniper Girl says no, wouldn't join again. There are a lot of things I didn't agree with. I'm a nerd and was forced into engineering because I had a lying recruiter. Underway, we threw trash into the ocean by the bagfuls, and I'm very pro-environment. That's the other reason I wouldn't. Oh wow, I didn't know you guys did that. That's terrible. Oh man, you shouldn't have told me that. I'm so disappointed now in the US military. I'm sure that all the militaries are doing that though. It's terrible. It's terrible. Don't throw trash in the ocean. The ocean is not a garbage bin. Man. So yeah, I can see how that would annoy you, Sniper Girl, because it annoys me hearing about it. Sniper Girl says, also don't agree with what we're doing in the Middle East. We attacked a country that didn't attack us because idiots, most of which came from Saudi Arabia, flew a plane into a building, killed 300 people. We killed over 100,000 civilians. Wow. I didn't realize it was that high. You're getting out of Syria though, aren't you? Mr. Trump is pulling his troops out of Syria. That's what's been constantly on the news over here anyway. Talking about that. When they're not talking about him getting impeached, of course. Killed 3,000 people, Sniper Girl says. Asterisk 3,000, yeah. Anyway. Mr. Trump. Let's create a smart material for this one. And let's create a smart material for this one. And that was the other reason, like I said to you guys when I was texturing this up. I didn't go in and paint by hand because I knew I wanted to reuse these. I wanted to create smart materials so I could reuse them. And if I went in there and did some detailing work by hand, it would only apply to this model. And I couldn't create a smart material for it. I created a smart material for this one, didn't I? I think I did. Yeah, I did. You can see it down here. Just let me delete that one, so I've only got one. And this one. And this one. And there are all my Vanity smart materials. Hopefully they're correct. We'll find out in a minute. Sniper Girl says, yeah, due to anti-war while moving troops into Saudi Arabia to protect oil fields. Oh, okay. Sniper Girl says Saudi Arabia is only killing people in Yemen, but hey. Oh dear. Let's just do a save here and create a new project. Corner Vanity, that's the one we want. We want to go to 2K. Compute tangent space. We want to bake out our materials at 2K. Using the low poly as the high poly and making... actually, I forgot to bake out our Vertex Colors, so let's do that real quick. Jump back into Max. I knew there was one step I was forgetting. Let's collapse our stack. Sniper Girl says, sorry for the political talk, but you asked. No, no, that's cool. You guys know I like to talk about that sort of stuff too. I know not everybody's interested though, so... so we have to choose what is going to be the chocolate, and it's going to be these centerpieces. I believe it was the shelves as well. We made chocolate wood. I can't remember if it was these doors, so I'm just going to jump back into Substance Painter. Reload the small vanity, we'll discard that. And so I can remember what I did. Yes, we'd made the doors chocolate too. Not the back pieces here though. So these doors... Come on, Max. Jumping between Substance Painter and Max, it always takes Max a minute. Okay, so the mirror, the doors. I might make the drawer chocolate too. And I might make this chocolate, I think, as well. No, I won't. I changed my mind. Andrew Lost says, well, that's one reason I didn't join the military, Sniper Girl. Sniper Girl says, can say that again. I've never joined the armed services either. But I admire people that do. Because it's not an easy thing to do. Okay, I'm just going to select that piece as well to make sure it's chocolate. And we're going to assign a vertex color of blue, a dark blue. That'll remind me it's supposed to be chocolate. Okay, which means what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do an invert selection and deselect the stuff I don't want to be cherry wood, which will be all the brass work. all of the chrome, the sink, the countertop, Sniper Girl says, I joined due to educational benefits and to see parts of the world that I didn't think I'd ever see. Yeah, look, a lot of people join the armed forces in this country for the same reason, the educational benefits particularly. Because they teach you for free. They give you qualification for free. Because paying for it is expensive. So yeah, a lot of people join them in this country for that reason as well. Join the armed forces. We don't want the plug to be cherry wood. We don't want that to be cherry wood either. Okay, is that everything I want to be cherry wood? I believe so. Yeah, I think it should be good. So let's make this color a red. Now let's choose the brass. Yes, there is brass. Thinking, did I do a brass or did I do gold? No, I did brass. These were brass. This was brass. Let me double check. The handles were brass as well. I sometimes get confused with my shortcut keys and my mouse because Max is set up to be a little different to the other software. Okay, so I think that's all the brass. I think everything else is going to be chrome. So let's make this a yellow. And I believe these two bits here, the sink, and the inner part of the handle. I could have made those a different. I could have made those chrome, but we'll leave it the way it is now. What would have made it a bit more interesting if it was brass and then chrome, but that's okay. I think that's all the chrome that we need, and that can be a grey. Good. Let's just turn on our Vertex Colors so we can make sure we got everything. Oh, I forgot the countertop. So the countertop can be its own colour of green. Why not? There we go. Ah, and I forgot that little bit there. Always something. So I'm just going to it just means I have to reselect my brass again. Sorry, my chrome again. Okay, re-add the colour of grey. And now we should be good. Snubby Girl says, glad I'm not in. Snubby Girl says, I support everyone that serves, don't support the people that sell them down the river for profits. Murphbury says, Phil, I demand that the toilet be solid gold. We could make a solid gold toilet if we wanted to. We could do that. That's doable. It reminds me of that news story not that long ago, a few weeks ago, about somebody stealing a gold toilet from somewhere in the UK, somewhere in Britain, one of those old castles or something, I think it was. They had this solid gold toilet that someone pinched. I don't know, how would you even lift a solid gold toilet? It would weigh a ton. Mercury says, or the inner bowl and the seat should be gold plated. Android Lust says, Austin Powers reference. I think that was from the movie. Sniper Girl says, agree with you, golden throne. Mercury says, with a ruby flush handle. You like the bling, you guys, don't you? You want the bling bling. Sniper Girl says, would be cold as hell to sit on, but why not? Oh, if we freeze your arsehole. Certainly would be cold. Sniper Girl says, someone steals a golden toilet, then there's an inside man. Well, yeah, there would have to be, because I mean, it would have weighed a ton. I think they caught the guy that stole it. I think that they did catch them. But yeah, a solid gold toilet was stolen by this person. And like I said, I don't know how they even lifted it. It would have weighed so, it would have been so heavy. Okay, let's re-export this model now. It's corner vanity. Let's do a quick save. And let's jump back into Substance Painter. Now let us create a new project. Select the corner vanity. Set it to 2K. Compute tangent space. I didn't make any changes, so I'll just discard that. Alright, now let's do a bake. 2K. Using the low poly as the high poly. And bake all. I'm wondering why there are two materials here. Why would that be? Must be a reason. Why? Let me see. Okay. That's not, I don't want two materials, I only want one material, so I'm just going to jump back into Max if I hit the right icon here. I'm just going to turn off Vertex Colors just for a second. And we're going to just make sure that one texture is assigned to the model, not two. Just re-export that again. Back into back into Substance. Let's edit the project configuration, reload our model. Actually, you see it's removed it. So what I'm just going to do here is I'm just going to new the project. It'll be easier for me. Discard this one. And now we're back to one material. We're going to rename the material Corner Vanity. Bake out our maps one more time. Making sure the ID is set to Vertex Color. Sniper Girl says, almost done using your favorite program, working on the art test. Oh, you've been using ZBrush, have you? Because we all know how much Phil loves ZBrush. Alright, let's start applying our smart materials. Let's start with the brass work. Let's see if we can get this to apply correctly or not. Thank you for the follow, Infused Blunder. I do appreciate it, guys, when you follow my Twitch channel. So thank you, Infused Blunder, for following me on Twitch. Now I'm just trying to work. Oh, there we go. Just wondering why the color looks off. I'm just going to go through these and make sure. That we are all using the same Vertex color. There we go. That's better. Okay, so that's the brass. I'm going to get rid of this blank layer at the bottom. Let's throw down the chrome. Again, I'm just going to make sure that the right Vertex color is selected here, because it was saved for the old model, not for the new one. A rusty old tap there. And a sync plug. Okay, let's move on to the handles, of course. Let's just do the marble top here. And again, I'm just going to make doubly sure that it is using the right Vertex color. Good. Let's do the wood grain now. So actually, let's do the sink. Okay, now let's do the wood. We'll start with the chocolate wood, I think. Oh, did I do something wrong there? Yes, I did. Let me just redo that. I hit the wrong one. I've gone too far. Okay. Now we can do the cherry wood. Remember, a mirror is going to go here on that back piece there. So, cherry wood. Again, just make sure they're all using the right Vertex color channel. Good. Okay. And it's just that easy for us to texture it up now that we had our smart materials already made. Let me do a save here of this file. Save as Corner Vanity, and we're going to call it Corner Vanity. And let's export our texture. Bathroom, vanity units, exports, corner vanity, that's the folder we want, and export. Let's just open the folder, make sure they're there. They are good. Do another quick save, and let's have a look at some of the work you guys posted on the PhilDust 3D Discord. So we'll start with Ido's image here of how he's doing his hair for his next character, who's very big busted. I can see from just the bust that he's got here. If you're new to my channel, you want to know more about me, go to phildoes3d.com if you want. You can look at some of my previous work, look at my gallery, there's links to my ArtStation, my Twitter and YouTube and all that sort of stuff. So that's phildoes3d.com. This is the character Ido is working on. He's doing his hair strands. Such big breasts, Ido. Oh man, this is something Crosswind has been working on. And it looks very cool. Let me just zoom in here a bit. And then look at the other one that he's posted. Yeah, that's really cool, Crosswind. I love it. Love the design. It's really interesting. Very cool. It's going to look sweet. Textured up, it's going to look really cool. Snowy Girl says to Ido, you need to be able to see the breasts from the moon. Alona Wolf, hi to you. It's good to see you, Alona Wolf. How are you? I hope you're well. Hello back to you. It's good to see you, Alona Wolf. This is looking really cool though, Crosswind. It's going to look super cool textured up. The design is really interesting. I mean, you guys know I don't like guns, but modeling. But this is a really interesting looking weapon. So I like it. I like it. Which is unusual for Phil when it comes to guns. Crosswind says, I'll export to max soon and build a low poly texture. Cool. Well, we look forward to seeing it, Crosswind, because it does look really cool. I love the design. And Sniper Girl says hi to Alona Wolf. Alona Wolf says, I'm doing okay. Just wanted to stop in and say hi. Well, I'm glad you did, Alona Wolf. And I also just want to show Wax Kink actually worked on a side. So I want to show that real quick. I don't think Wax Kink is in the chat, but very nice. Nice work. His scythe here. Not sure what's going on with the blade here. Might ask him in Discord or next time he's on the stream what sort of texture. It might just be the angle of the lighting, I think, because it should be metallic. I'm assuming it doesn't quite look metal, but it might be the lighting. But nice work from Wax Kink. Morak is also posted a link to a satellite. And again, very nice. He's got the solar panels in now. So it's going to look super, super cool, textured up. I think he's putting the space shuttle in as well. So nice work, Morak. And this is an image that some photogrammetry work that Smurfery Barbecue has been doing of the building he showed us the pictures of last week. And he was saying how the roof here has completely disintegrated as when it tried to do its recalculation. The reason that happens, and you'll find this happens a lot with buildings, is because there aren't enough camera angles up high for the triangulation to work correctly. Because he said one of the chimneys, it was in the point cloud mesh, but when it did its meshing stage, it's completely disappeared. Again, that's simply because there aren't enough high angles on the roof. So this sort of problem happens quite a lot with buildings when you do photogrammetry, unless you use a drone to take high shots. Yeah, it has a real problem doing the calculation up here. So that's why everything around here is cool. But the roof is, yeah. And generally with the roof, if you can't get high shots, then model it in by hand anyway. But Smurfberry says he's going to remodel this as a low poly in the 3D program anyway. And I was saying to him, if it was me, I'd take the photogrammetry of like around the doorway and maybe around the windows, and I'd use that on the low poly model to give more detailing. But that's me. I probably wouldn't use the shutters because you're not going to get a clean looking model from those. They're going to be very noisy. But nice job at doing a photogrammetry. No problem. Crosswind. Alona Wolf says, I like the gun model. Gives me steampunk vibes. Yeah, it does look very steampunk, Alona Wolf. I like it as well. It looks really cool. So, I think we might leave it there for today, guys and girls. I do want to thank you very much though for hanging out with me and for watching. I do appreciate it. I will be back on again tomorrow. We'll pick up where we left off here and we'll work on some other asset for the bathroom. I've done enough vanities. I'm only doing 2 vanities, the small vanity and the corner vanity. So tomorrow we'll either work on the toilet, we'll work on the bathtub. I'll see how I go. I'll decide this afternoon and we'll work on another asset for the bathroom tomorrow. But you guys and girls have a great day, night, whatever time it is, wherever you are. And hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. See you guys.